So you want to know how to license a food truck? Let's get to it. I'm gonna break this up into 4 simple steps. So if you're starting a food truck business, this is what you wanna do in order to get licensed properly. Typically, when I license my food trucks, this is the first step that I always do, and this is what I recommend for you. Step 1, do your business registration. So what does that entail? Your LLC has to be established with the Secretary of State. You have to make sure that you have your sales tax certificate, so once you're operating, you can actually charge sales tax. And 3, you have your tax ID through irs.gov. That is completely free, that you can get on the website and create it there, which is considered your federal employer identification number. The reason why I always recommend doing your business registration first is because typically when it comes to step 2 and step 3, they're gonna ask for it. The state is always gonna ask you, okay, what is your business name? What is your EIN? Plus, you want to get started with building your business credit, and you also want to open up your bank account, so when you're starting to get some income and revenue generated, you're able to track that all into your bank account. So I always recommend doing it the right way when you get started. Step 2 is have your commissary location, the place that you're going to be parking at. What that looks like is typically plazas, gas stations, or an actual commissary full kitchen. Usually, the reason why I highly recommend getting your commissary location together is because typically a lot of inspectors always want you to have your location set in stone, so when you do your inspection, you can have it at that location rather than your home. They typically prohibit that, so I would always recommend looking into that before you get started with applying for your food truck license. If you want to learn more about commissary kitchens and how to get started with finding one, go click on the link in my bio and look at the full video that I've already talked about with commissary kitchens. So step 3 is contact your local health department and find out who it is that's going to be licensing your food truck. This is something that is extremely crucial because they're going to be able to lay out exactly everything that you need. A lot of the things that are typically always required are your menu. You also have to have your floor plan, so they want to see the design of the truck and how it's set up and laid out. They also want your certification, so your food handlers and managers course is required. And you also want to make sure you have the application completely done with your business information, your mailing address, etc. So make sure that you contact your local health department. There may be a couple phone calls that you'll have to do in order to find out who's the person that will actually be licensing you, but this is where you have to go on Google and do your due diligence on finding out how to get started. And finally, number 4, which is the best one, is scheduling your inspection. Once you've submitted all your application and documentation to the state, typically they'll have someone come out or they'll contact you like an inspector to schedule the inspection. Make sure that you're prepared, you have everything in order, so when your plans are approved, you're able to get that inspection done immediately. So I know that I simplified this as easy as possible, but there's a lot of legwork that goes into applying for a food truck license. So if you have any questions, you know who I am, and you can get started with me on dreamsgonemobile.com, and we can help you get licensed in the state that you reside in. So if you have any questions on that, feel free to reach out to me with the link in my bio.